Well, hello, welcome back. Today's video is going to be quite a lot. We're going to go over where I applied to school, where I got accepted, and the few video clips that I still have from that, where I'm actually going to school, what I decided, where I'm going to be living for literally the next year of my life, and you guys are coming too, and then some of the regrets I have and some advice to future people applying to college, future college. I don't think that sentence makes sense, but I think you get what I mean. Anyways, but yeah, so get your popcorn. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's just get right into it. Okay, and I would like to say that my sister made really cute toppers for all of these, but they were made out of chocolate, and my room is very warm right now, so I took them up here and they all melted. So now we just have boring paper toppers. Okay, so a little intro about me. I was an early college student in high school, so I have 2 years of community college under my belt. So going into this, I felt like I had a little different experience than other people. I had to talk to schools about like, oh, will you accept my credits and how will that work and how far along in your degree will I be and stuff like that. I will also put up my stats really quickly because I know some people care, so you can pause the video and read them if you want. But yeah, so I applied to 7 schools. We have Southern Oregon, Hawaii Pacific, Seattle University, University of Oregon, Cornell University, Loyola Marymount, and this one is Linfield University. Along with applying to all these schools, I think I have a lot to say, but my first thing that I recommend / is my regret is not looking beyond, or having, I guess, a closed mind when it came to applying. And I really only looked on the West Coast. My only like school that's not on the West Coast is Cornell, and that was like a last minute thing. We'll get to that. I wish I would have at least taken into consideration the schools over there, because after I applied to all these and got all my acceptances and all that stuff, I found some really cool schools that I was like, wow, I wish I applied there. So keep an open mind. Number 2, make sure you actually have the right number of safety, target, and reach schools. I did a really poor job of this. Actually, I had way too many safety schools. I have maybe 1 reach school and 1 target school. Yeah, anyways, I have a lot of regrets or things I would change about my college admission process. So yeah. Also, get started early. That's another big mistake. Get started as soon as you can. So yeah. They're supposed to tell me if I got into the college or not today at 4 p.m. and it's currently 5:04, so I probably shouldn't put it off anymore. So let's go to my Gmail. Guys! Oh goodness. I'm scared. I got accepted. I wasn't able to finish my reactions because I actually learned when I was telling my mom about like what happened that I actually got into another school that I applied to, and I didn't know that the decision came out or not. But I got into Linfield. My hair keeps falling out, but okay, I just got an email that I got another decision, and yeah, it's for Hawaii. Oh my gosh. View your decision. It's loading. Yay! Woohoo! Okay, so I was accepted everywhere except that I was waitlisted at LMU, which honestly came as a shock. Well, it was a target school for me, so it was just a little bit surprising. But honestly, I'm kind of glad because I never really had good communication with them. I emailed them even before the application season started, and they never got back to me. And I felt like the school for me was pretty small, and I kind of wanted to go to a bigger school. And they were lacking the school spirit, which I was really looking for. So ultimately I decided against, well, they decided against me. I didn't decide against them. I thought I wanted to go to college in California for so long, like the start of my decision process. Obviously this is the only one I applied to in California, so I don't really know what I was thinking. But yeah. And the other school I was waitlisted at was Cornell. Dude, I'm kind of scared, but now or never. I got waitlisted, brothers. This one was also, I guess it's the odd man out. So I kind of applied. I realized I wanted to apply like 2 weeks before that regular decision deadline, so the last deadline, and I feel like I probably could have gotten in if I would have like been more prepared and known I wanted to go there for, like, since the college season started. But because I didn't know I wanted to go there, I think the timing was off on a lot of things, like the college, the like major I wanted to get into. It was really difficult to be an out-of-state person getting into it, especially on like the second round, and I just think I didn't really set myself up for success here and like figured out exactly what my story was. But I was obsessed with this school for a while. They're still really cool, but I will not be attending obviously, as they waitlisted me, but pretty cool still. I think it's crazy that probably somebody in Cornell in the Ivy League system argued for me against someone else and put me on the wait list. Anyways, I did really love this school. I wanted to go. I thought it had a beautiful campus. Never visited, but I think it does. It's a great part of New York and all of that stuff. It is a great school, obviously. Although there are a lot of downsides to going to an Ivy, and I probably wouldn't have been able to afford it. Plus, they were going to make me redo all of my credits. So I don't think I would have ended up going even if they would have accepted me as much as I would have liked to go. This one was tough. It hurt a little because I really like to be successful. So we're left with these 5. So now I had a really tough decision to make. What I decided to do to try to figure it out more, I had huge pro and con lists, number 1. And number 2, I went on some tours of the campuses, which I would highly recommend you do before you even apply, because it's really good to know if you like a small school, or if you want a big school, or a school in the city, or a school in the suburbs. The first school I'm going to get rid of is Southern Oregon. We did like a little road trip down to Southern Oregon, and it was beautiful. Like, I loved the area. It was so pretty. There was a huge nature park. Yeah, but honestly the school was pretty small, and with my experience in community college, I really wanted a school that was bigger. As I said before, I wanted more school spirit, and I didn't feel like this one was going to have a lot of school spirit. Plus, the major that I eventually like decided on in my academic area, they weren't as strong in that. They didn't really have a strong suit in the area I was interested in, and I didn't feel like they were going to academically push me as much, so I let them go. But I did really like talking to the honors director because she was super nice and she was super accommodating to let me bring in all my credits and still complete the honors program, which I thought was really cool. So the next one that I'm actually going to get rid of is Linfield. This one is a great school, but I did like a scholarship competition with them, and I talked to the professors, and I just didn't feel like I clicked with them, or they were the professors that I would want to be studying with, and they were like the professors in my area. Plus, when I later like narrowed down what I wanted my major to be, they weren't as strong in that area. So yeah, they had a very nice campus though, but their campus is a little bit isolated and hard to get to stuff. Yeah, these are just my opinions on like how the school would be for me attending as a student, but everyone's different. So one school that I say isn't right for me could be perfect for you. So okay, so we're down to these 3. They're very different. Obviously a lot of my schools are very different, but we have Hawaii, which for obvious reasons is attractive because Hawaii is a beautiful state. Lexi and Hannah, for all I know. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to college in Hawaii? I guess just a few cons about this school. They were a pretty small school, and like I said, I kind of wanted to go to a bigger school is what I learned later in the process. Again, why it's important to figure out if you like big or small schools from the beginning. But they were really small. The campus is like in the middle of a city, so it's not really like a college campus, which means there's less school spirit, less connectivity, which kind of makes sense because if you're in Hawaii, do you really want to be on a college campus, or do you want to be on the beach? You know, like, so I feel like it makes sense that a lot of kids would spend their time off campus, but I didn't feel like they were as academically strong in my area that I was looking at. So next we have Seattle University, and I really, for a while, thought I really wanted to live in the city. So I applied to this one because it's kind of like in the heart of Seattle, obviously. I don't actually know if it's in the heart. That was just a nice phrase to use. But I toured the campus, and actually the city area, at least when I toured it, was super clean and put together. But again, this school was small compared to some of my other options. It was pretty pricey. Because it was out of state. It was like twice as expensive as my in-state schools. And then U of O, which is obviously the in-state school, it was always kind of like a backup for me, I guess I would say, because I don't know, it's like the in-state school, you apply to it. It is a great school and it does have some great programs, but I felt like everybody in my class was going there and I didn't want to be like everyone else. I wanted to be different and explore the world and not just stay within my own bubble. So yeah, they all would let me finish my bachelor's degree in 2 years because of my associates. But yeah, so the next one I'm going to eliminate is actually Seattle University. Again, I really thought the city was cool, but when I went and toured it, I just didn't feel like the city was like right for me. I don't know. Plus it was like, I really considered this as an option. Kind of wanted to go at times, but at the same time it was going to be twice as expensive, and I just didn't really like love the campus. So ultimately this one had to go. So we are left with our final two, the University of Oregon and Hawaii Pacific. It was a tough battle between the two. This one was in-state, the cheaper option, had great academic programs. This one had Hawaii. It wasn't a lot more expensive, but it was more expensive, and I think that like being in Hawaii, like the cost would have added up. This one was so much farther away from home. It was literally an ocean away. I feel like I really need a drum roll right now. Like, did decide to let go of Hawaii Pacific. I think this could have been a really fun college experience. Honestly, I'm kind of sad about it still, because this could have been a lot of fun. We could have all been moving to Hawaii together. That would have been epic fun. I actually have a friend who goes there, but anyways, but it is a great school. If you do want to go to Hawaii Pacific, please still consider it. It is really cool. I thought it was like the coolest thing ever that it was a possibility, and the fact that I literally could have just clicked a button on the screen and said, oh yeah, I want to go there, and then lived in Hawaii for the next 2 years. It's pretty crazy. That means that I'm going to be a duck. But yeah, next year I will be attending the University of Oregon. Honestly, it was kind of a plot twist for me, because ultimately it was like, you know, a backup school. It was like the state school, but it turned out to be number one, the cheapest option, which I think is important, because in the end I really want to continue my education. So where I get my bachelor's isn't as important as where I get like my master's or my PhD at. And number two, they're very strong in like business, media, journalism, psychology area, which is kind of the areas that I'm really interested in. I want to major in psychology with a minor in business, and then I want to do behavioral marketing in grad school, which is basically like the psychology of marketing. It's in like the business department. But yeah, so I really think this is the best option for me. Again, it was at the bottom of my list for so long, and I thought I will never go there. I don't want to be like everyone else in my state and just go to the U of O. But as time went on and I really looked through my list, I said, what would someone say who was unbiased about which school I should go to? And it was definitely this one. They're the larger school, they have more school spirit, it was going to be the cheapest option, they were going to have the best major, etc. And it's close to home-ish, but like not too close, so I can come visit my family for extended weekends, for Thanksgiving, over the holidays, but I'll also be living on my own, so that'll be fun. But yeah, it was quite the plot twist of a journey, but I'm excited. So yeah, I hope you guys are excited as I am to go on this college journey with me. I just want you to know that if you don't get into your top choice college or your top choice school, or your college journey just doesn't seem to work out well, you are not alone. You know, it's just a crazy journey, and I think wherever you end up, you'll learn so much. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something, or I guess you would learn something either way, because you either learned where I'm going to school or you learned something about college. Anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day or night or whenever. It's like 1 a.m. and I can't form functional thoughts anymore because I've been working on this video since 4 p.m. literally 9 hours. Bye. Love you always. And I did eat a cupcake at 1 a.m. Nobody tell anybody. Shh.
Thank you.